second hour, let me start by reminding you, consult Tarpley.net. Take a look at this latest article on the planted story. By the way, this is all neocon stuff, right? You got to think. How did neocons think? How did they think in the run-up to the Iraq War? Well, they were saying the Iraq War can finance itself because we can loot the oil of Iraq. We can simply steal the Iraqi oil and use that to pay for the war. That's really what they're saying now. Okay, now we'll get back to that topic in just a minute. But now we want to do our weekly update here on the constitutional defense front, the inherent inability of Obama to serve as president, the need to do something about this before he goes on in the November-December period to bootleg cap and trade and to bootleg the destruction of Social Security through this lame duck session, which is obviously what he's planning to do. So let's go to Philadelphia for our friend, Attorney Philip Berg. Phil.
How you doing? Actually, I'm speaking to you today from San Diego, California.
Fantastic. Tell us all about it.
Well, it's beautiful. I'm out here visiting and just for a weekend. And as I flew out on the plane, I realized more and more, how bad this Obama situation is and getting worse. And that's why more and more people are contacting me at the present time to join our efforts. Unfortunately, I don't have a date yet. It's probably going to be in early September. We're going to have a march in Washington, and I want to be the largest march in Washington, D.C. history, because we have to do something. My case in the Circuit Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia, we just got notice this week that they stated that they're not going to have oral argument on it. And, I think this is just part of the whole trend. They just try to keep the cases quiet and not out there. We're filing a motion for reconsideration, because when we file that, we can at least publicize that. And it's really ridiculous because it really should be heard. There should be oral argument, because if the general public knew what was going on. Now, that case is, all this information is on our website, which is obamacrimes.com, OBAMACRIMES.com, obamacrimes.com. The case I'm talking about is the case which I really think is the case that can open up and force the issue with Obama. And I filed an action under what's called the False Claims Act, or Qui Tem. And in that in that case, that type case, the Supreme Court of the United States has already stated that the person bringing that action has standing. So that's not the issue here. The issue is the judge threw out saying the case was frivolous, but it's, in my opinion, anything but frivolous, because I'm claiming in that action that Obama is not only not natural born, which we have to have for president, but he's not naturalized, and he's an illegal alien. If he's an illegal alien, then he could not have served as a United States Senator. And I'm asking for the court to rule that he's an illegal alien. Therefore, the salary and benefits he received as a U.S. Senator was fraud. And therefore, all the salary and benefits he received should be repaid to the United States Treasury, and that totals about $1 million. And that really is, that's about Obama, because we have him here. The birth certificate issue is one issue, but the more important issue for your listeners is the fact that he was adopted in Indonesia. And his adopted name is Barry Sotoro, and we have that on our website. His name is Barry Sotoro, and his nationality is Indonesia, and his religion is Islam. The guy is a total imposter. He's a fraud. He's a phony. I'm talking about Obama. Yes, Obama's an imposter. Obama's a fraud. Obama is a phony. Obama has put forth to the United States of America, to all the citizens out there, the largest hoax in the history of our country, and that's over 230 years. This is nonsense that we're still dealing with this issue a year and a half after he's put in office. The best example for you doubters out there is Arnold Schwarzenegger. People have talked to him about running for president for the last 10, 15 years, and what does he say? He says, amend the Constitution because I was born in Austria. Well, Obama just steps all over the Constitution, but what he has done, and he continues to do it. He did it, as far as I'm concerned, in the Obamacare, which will be legislation coming up. You can't force people in this country to buy things. He just put his foot in his mouth, as far as I'm concerned, on the issue of the Gulf oil. After being criticized, after going to California for a fundraiser, I think, for Barbara Boxer, people were so critical of him, he took me and said, "I've been in charge. I've been in charge since day one."
Right.
Well, he looks like
So
a bigger fool than ever. Sure.
But we have limited time. This week we had Chris Matthews with his ranting story of the new right, and he gave attention to what he calls the birthers, but unfortunately, and I think with evil design, he made Orly Tates, the incompetent Orly Tates, the spokesperson for the birther point of view, and she went on and said absolute nonsense. She said Obama's not a citizen because his father was from Kenya, and that means he's a citizen of the British Empire. That's not how it works. If you had been born in the U.S., you would have been a citizen, but that didn't happen. So Orly Tates continues to muddy the waters.
Orly Tates, for everyone out there, is really, she should be disbarred as an attorney. She doesn't know what she's doing. She files all kinds of pleadings which are incorrect. She really has, I think she works for Obama or someone supporting Obama because she's out there to hurt the movement. And I'm doing everything in my power to bypass her. And the people are. More and more people are writing to me and they're realizing that Orly Tates is no good. And they put her on as a spokesperson because she looks and sounds like a fool with her ranting and everything like that. They won't put me on because they know I can handle anyone. My challenge is to anyone out there and any of you listeners who want to do it. My challenge is that I will at any time debate anybody on this issue, any of these network people or the MSNBC people, anybody out there on the major networks. I will take them on because I know the truth's on our side. So we need people, when the show's over, to go to ObamaCrimes.com, start spreading the word, and hopefully by next week we'll have a date certain for this march. And then we want everyone that's possible to join in, to come to this march in Washington, because if the courts are to delay it, we the American people, remember the Constitution starts off, we the people. And then we the people can have a peaceful revolution, and force Obama out of office.
Very good, and I think all the more urgent because of this very sinister lame duck session that's shaping up, right? Late November and December, all of those people who have been voted out, who are essentially beyond the retribution of the voter, getting together to impose cap and trade, cap and tax, and also the looting and sacking of Social Security. That seems to be the Obama plan. So got to knock them on the defensive.
And that's why it's essential people join with me, because really, listen, everyone out there, when we can remove Obama from office and we can force him out, everything he has done then, because he was a usurper, everything is voidable or void. So if you want to get rid of all these things that he's done wrong to hurt this country, get him out of office. Join our efforts.
Very good. Well, that's Phil Berg of Philadelphia. And go to that website. That's ObamaCrimes.com. And, of course, Phil is always shy. Time to make a contribution. Keep this going, because it will be imperative to do something on a large scale before November, December. In other words, we've got to increase the pressure on Obama, or he is going to do permanent damage that goes beyond anything that he's done so far.
That's right.
We'll see you next week, Bill.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Good time in the California sun, I hope.
Yep. Okay.
Maybe you'll see Medvedev out there. He's coming to Silicon Valley.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Okay, Phil Berg. Thank you very much. Now let's see. We have a couple of minutes left in the segment here. Let's just continue where we were. The neocon method, right? Remember, when they want to attack a country, they've got to conjure up the idea of loot. So the loot that they're conjuring up in this case is the mineral wealth of Afghanistan. So you can see that's inherent in this leaked story. There's also the idea that if you don't go along, you French, you Germans, then you'll be cut out of the action. So you can see that the characteristic neocon way of thinking by these Petraeus handlers, advisors, Palace Guard, and so forth, that's evident in the anatomy of this leak. So we'll be back in a minute on World Crisis Radio.